make you take off all your weapons before you go into court because, for government safety. James Freeman says he's not wrong. It's not for your safety, it's for government safety. They want to be the only ones with guns in courtrooms. But magic happened just now. People say that magic isn't real, but I can prove that it's real because 5 minutes ago I was a scary felon. Scary. And now, just magically, I'm not anymore. I just think that, you know, I think that's all the proof anybody should need to believe in magic. What's up, Jake? Good morning. I'm no longer a scary felon, bro. Magic happened, and I went from last week, just 20 minutes ago, I was a scary felon. And if I got pulled over in the state of Ohio with a gun, they would take me to jail. And magically, that's just not the case anymore. Now, there are some caveats to it still. We're working on that. But there's other things. But magic exists. I think the whole system is just a fucking racket. It is a racket. We all know it's a racket. But to like sit there and look at people and watch them believe in it, to me, it's just insane. It's complete and utter insanity. There was a cop killed the other day somewhere. I don't remember where I was seeing it. I was on Facebook posting some shit for work, and there was a cop killed. They got called to a domestic violence situation, and the cop wound up being killed. And everybody was on there boohooing about this cop, and I'm like, yeah, fuck that cop. He's a piece of shit. And the way people talk to you, damn, you get a long name. Right? Yeah, you're right about the videos. No, it is real because, like I said, 5 minutes ago, I was a scary felon, and I'm no longer a scary felon. Now, it only took fucking 10 court dates all over the damn country to make it happen. Not really. They're all in one area, but I did have like one, two, three, four, five, six. This is number seven, and I still got one more for all my misdemeanor shit. But I was I don't understand it. How do you believe that a signature dictates whether somebody is dangerous or not? And I guess they judge it by your interactions with the police over a period of time because the law in Ohio has now changed to a year. If you've had any charges in Ohio, if you go a year, I don't even know if it's without being arrested or what. It just says a year. That's all the judge really says. It's a year. It's been a year since this, and he qualifies. State didn't object to it, obviously, because this one's 25 years old, almost 25 years old, 20 years old, older than 20 years, less than 25. This was the one where my parents were involved over a book of checks, and it was they hit me with a theft over a book of checks. I wound up with a book of checks in my house. My family's not the average family, so I moved to Ohio when I was 16, and when in moving, I didn't take everything with me. Then I moved back in with my parents when they bought a house here, but I lived there pretty much on my own. And when all the rest of my shit came from Tennessee, I somehow wound up with a box of my parents' checks and my shit. And when I moved out, again, one of those boxes with that said Nick on just went with me. The checks was it just went on top of the fridge, and I just kind of never thought nothing else about them. And they wound up closing that account, and they sat there for probably a year that I know of. And then a chick that I was fucking with wound up writing a bunch of them, and I was in jail for something else. And detectives come talk to me. This is pre having some knowledge about don't talk to cops. And at first I'm like, I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about. These checks. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. And then it occurred to me a few days later. So me being dumb Nick, I talked to him and explained to him exactly what I just said to you. They hit me with a felony theft over it. Because in Ohio, if you take a check without, you don't even have to write it. And it's a felony just for the act of taking said check. So they charged me with theft. Well, they really did to put my parents in a bind. Because in order to then get me out of that, which looking back, they just could have not showed up to court. This would have been the best thing to happen. Which they didn't because I took a plea. I took a plea bargain for 6 months, 7 months, or something like that. And it was a long string of bullshit. The whole time I lived with my parents, when they, like all that finally, when I got out of jail that time, I went back to living with my parents. And I lived with my parents that whole time. So now I'm going to court for felonies while I'm living with my victims. And it's a big fucking racket, dude. They take it to the 10th degree. My mom would bring my kids up to see me in prison and my wife. And they wouldn't let my mom in to see me. Even on, like my last time I went to prison for something else, they wouldn't let my mom come see me because my mom is technically a victim of mine, which now she's magically not a victim. That's how that works. Um, she's no longer a victim. I'm going to have to call her and tell her. But I want this whole probation rigmarole, and I'm just not the probation type. I kind of figured that out. And I had a real dickhead probation officer. Like, he'd be across the street with trees and shit on his back, camoed out, and no bullshit. Like, I'm not being funny. Taking pictures of you, trying to catch you drinking a beer or something he could lock you up for. He locked me up a couple times on probation violations, which are bullshit. And over time, I guess the judge, my mom knew he was full of shit. My mom looks young for her age. She really did back then. So I used to tell her, like, man, this motherfucker's just fucking with me, Mom. Oh, Nick, you're crazy. No, nothing's flying here. No cop's going to act like that. How about this? You go into one of my PO meetings with me and watch how crazy this dude acts toward me. He'd say all kinds of crazy shit. His name was Bill Eppards. Bolton, you're in a fucking bubble this big and it's getting ready to burst. I'm going to send your pretty ass to prison. There's going to be 2,500 inmates trying to fuck you. He'd say all kinds of crazy shit to you. So I went in there with my mom to my probation officer, but we acted like she was my old lady. Like, I went in there, my hand on my mom's ass in her pocket and shit. Like, no bullshit. And as soon as I walked in, he started that crazy shit, man. And my mom about went over the fucking desk after him. So when I finally said I'm done, and I went on the run for about a year and a half, which is no fun at all. You always got to be worried about getting pulled over or looking over your shoulder or who knows where you're at and who can you call, and which, I was just paranoid that they probably wouldn't have known who I was calling back then. But when I finally turned myself in, my mom, on her victim impact statement, it was nothing except shit about how fucked up the system is and how Bill Eppards, the shit he did to me. So I wound up getting like 6 months. But I already had like a lot of that time done in county because I'd done PV, probation violations and shit like that. I only had and I did a bunch of time prior to being pleading out. So I only had like a week left of time when I went to prison. Like a week or 10 days for something stupid. And I got there and I got to my unit. I went through our unit and they sent me to B2. And I remember they shot my paper under the door, and I should have been getting out like next day or 3. And it said like August or something on it, and this is like February or March. And I realized then somebody fucked up, and they fucked up. I wound up being there from February. I think I was there in February or into January until April 28th. And they just came to me one morning and was like, hey, pack your shit. I'm like, oh, man, where am I riding out to? They're like, oh. I thought they were fucking with me. But they got the paperwork figured out, and I went home. I didn't get no credit for the 200 hours of community service I did. I didn't get credit for any of the fines or nothing I paid. But, you know, it's just a big scam. They got back to the cop that got killed. Um, and I put in there like the world's a better place, and the way people react to me is just dumbfounding. Like they worship these fucking cops, not because the cops have done anything for them, but because that's what they've been told to do. If you don't think the police are gods, then you are a bad human. And in my reply to these people, somebody's like, I can't believe, how'd she say it? I can't believe how horrible you speak about these police. I'm like, yeah, I can't believe how horrible the Germans spoke about, or the Jews spoke about the Gestapo either. But like, people can't put two and two together. Even when you like point out, hey, these are all law enforcement agents. Even when you point out that the atrocities they commit to our society, and then the shit that look at that shit. It's finally healing up. I accidentally tore all the stitches out. My uncle went to shake my hand, and it fucking tore all the stitches out of my hand. Let's cut them out. But they can't put two and two together, man. And there's, you try to explain to them, you're a slave, and they truly believe they're free. And you like try to get it out there. It's hard to have the conversation with people in comment sections, no matter where you're at. But just so and then they never have a reply that makes sense. They never have a reply that builds a foundation for their position. It's always like one lady says, you can't even write a correct sentence or some stupid shit like that. I'm like, yeah, I can. I 100% can. You're just not worth the time of doing it. I mean, you're too stupid to even understand what your eyes see and what your ears hear and what your brain tells you. You ignore all that shit. So what the fuck does it matter if I accidentally hit a J instead of a N? And by the way, the J's right next to the N on the keyboard. All you got to do is look at it. But anyway, I'm done. This is your proof. Magic does exist. Once felon Nick is no longer a felon. I still wear the badge of felon, though. All the time I spent in prison, no longer. All the time I spent in county, that shit's about to go too. Just magically disappear like it didn't happen. And they delete it. They delete it from all records. Except there's like one place that has it or something. I guess the court can still see it if I ever, get jammed up. But hopefully I just get left the fuck alone. The first expungement date I had, the judge says, why are you wanting this expungement? I said, because I think I've served my time by now. I've been dealing with this shit for 20 years, or however long it was, 10 years, 15 years for that one. He's like, we need a legitimate reason. I'm like, what fucking more legitimate reason do you need than that? He's like, is it for work? Is it for, I was like, yeah, it's for work. This dude asked me, he's like, is there anything other than what's in you put in the file that you want to say? I'm like, I don't even know it's in the file. My lawyer filed this shit for me. I didn't file it. So, anyway, here's your proof. Tell your friends, tell your mom. You can be a felon 1 minute, not a felon in the next. You can own guns 1 minute, not have them the next, or you cannot own 1 minute. Oh, it works the other way too. But you cannot be allowed to own 1 minute, be allowed, and then be allowed the next minute. And then there's a bunch of crazy laws about that shit too, depending on your record. Some shit you can get expunged, and other shit you just can't. But oh well. I don't feel any different. I felt like I did an hour ago. I wonder what the argument of gay note is going to be. Somebody get a hold of gay note. Tell him Nick's no longer a felon. Magic is real, bro. I disproved it. I was a felon 15 minutes ago, and now I'm not. That's magic. Who says me what? Oh, the magic don't exist? What do you mean, what am I going to do now? Nothing different than I did yesterday. What are you talking about? What am I going to do now? I just talked about that too. Oh, they do get annoying. I'm sorry, I can actually read right now. My eyes are weird. 1 minute I'll be able to read, the next minute I won't. Yeah, I'm with you on the live free or die, man. But there's a part of that where you just can't. We're trapped in this system like driver's licenses. Driver's licenses are bullshit. It's just another tax. That's all it is. It's another way to fuck you. You own the car, you pay for the roads, yet you must be licensed to drive your car on the road. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. I mean, do you need a license to go to the park and play on the ball field? It'll get to that, but as of today, you don't. Um, none of it makes sense. And nobody can make it make sense, but everybody I see, they all think they know what's going on. And I'm not saying I know everything that's going on, but I damn sure recognize what I see and what I know, what I see visually happening. I mean, I see these things when I post for business on Facebook about like these cops will post a thing and have a picture of the radar on the dashboard of the cop car and it'll say like 97. And it'll be some big post about how this cop stopped these dangerous speeders who harm nobody. I'm like, what about all the fucking people who raped and murdered and robbed and pillaged? Why are they going after those dudes? Why are they worried about the dude that's speeding? Oh, they're keeping us safe. Listen, speeders don't endanger you. There is a case occasionally, but listen, when I get on the road every time before I get on the road, I know I'm passing drunk drivers. I know there's going to be people driving 200 miles an hour. And I'll tell you what's worse than any of that shit is these dickheads that want to squeeze in everywhere. So I try to drive at a safe enough distance where somebody locks their shit up, a deadlock up, that I got time to react so I don't hit them in the ass. I'm not saying I'm going to have time to stop. I'm saying so I have time to react. And these fucking people will squeeze in just to get around you. They'll be behind you on the interstate and speed up to get around you. We had somebody hit us on the interstate doing like 80 a few months ago. What about those people? And I'm not saying that really I think anything should happen to them because I don't think government should be involved in any of the bullshit. Government needs to be governed, stay over there and act like a fence, protecting us from outside forces, intruding on our life, liberty, property, pursuit of happiness and rights. And we should be here doing society stuff. It definitely doesn't have a place in domestic situations. If you and your wife want to beat the fuck out of each other, more power to you. Beat the shit out of each other. Why should anybody care? It's your business. If you don't like getting beat up, leave. If you don't like getting beat up, leave. If you want to beat each other up, more power to you. Who am I to say that you can't? But the cops come there and they'll arrest. Somebody's going to jail. And you ain't even got to be the one that calls. Your neighbor could call and say, I heard a loud noise. I heard somebody screaming. Kids can be in the pool screaming. I heard somebody screaming. Then they come there and your dumbass lets them in the door and they see some weed laying on the table or something, some heroin that bothers nobody but you, and they lock you up. And then the system don't even play by its own rules. My buddy filed an appeal on his case where they did an illegal search on his truck. 100% it was illegal. There's a state case where the Ohio Supreme Court ruled on it in favor of the defendant, where he was actually sitting in the fucking car. So when the cops pull up and they block you in and don't give you a way out, that's a detainment. Even if they don't talk to you, at that point, you're detained because you can't leave. He was in the passenger seat of a car. He had an arrest warrant for like domestic violence or something. So they get him out of the car, handcuff him, then search the car. And he wound up getting found guilty and going to prison because he had some coke on him or something and a gun. And then the courts wound up overturning that conviction. My buddy got arrested. The cops were called when he was at his house. He left his house, went to a buddy's house, and was sitting on the fucking porch when the cops pulled up. They put him in handcuffs, then search his truck that's locked for officer safety. That's all they got to say anymore is officer safety. And it gives them a clear path to do whatever they want. And they filed a motion to suppress in the local courts. It got denied. Then he filed an appeal at the district courts, and it got denied. And it's if you don't have the money to fight it, you're screwed, man. You're going to take it. And it's sad. It's a sad way. But anyway, May 28th, 2025. It is proven that magic is real. I got to roll. I got to go get some mouse poison because my kid's car's got mice in it, I think. And I got some other stuff to do too. But I'm an equal now. Gaynote has me blocked. So will somebody please message Gaynote and tell him I want to enter the circle of Gaynotes? I'm no longer a scary felon. Yeah, I'm not going to live my life any different. Nothing will change. I can't read what you said, babe. So stupidity there. Yeah, let him know for me, man. Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm not going to take it down. I'll leave it up. I'll leave it up because this is the proof that magic is real. All these years we've been told magic is just like some guy, saying, look at this hand, wait, he does some shit over this hand. No. Magic is real. Some guy that I never fucking seen before said so. Up there. My judge on that case is retired. And it's like, my thing is like, if you can do this shit after a year, right? Why don't they just do it? I mean, if you have put child support on it, tracking people down that their cases are older than a year, and expunge their shit. Why do you got to pay an attorney a bunch of money to fill out a bunch of paperwork to do a bunch of bullshit that they could just do themselves? I'll tell you why. Because it keeps you trapped within the system. That's why. Because then you have a family and kids, and you want to protect them, so you buy guns, and then, then there's no equal justice under the law. Justice is not blind, and there's no justice in it. There's no justice in it. You become a slave to the state, does not pay anything back to the person that you've harmed. I don't know. We'll see y'all later. Have a good day. Stay safe.